On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Filmmaker.
A person who makes films, typically as a profession.
Examples:
Nonfiction filmmaker. A successful filmmaker. The renowned filmmaker won several awards for his latest film.
Visualize.
To form a mental image or concept of something, to make something visible.
Examples:
Visualize data. Visualize flying through space. She tried to visualize the layout of the new house in her mind.
Stutter.
To speak with sudden involuntary pauses or repetitions of sounds, syllables, or words. Noun, a speech disorder characterized by the repetition or prolongation of sounds, syllables, or words, or by pauses or blocks in speech.
Examples:
Stutter speech. Stutter out an apology. He tends to stutter when he gets nervous, making it difficult for others to understand him.
Brad.
A small, thin wire nail with a slight projection at the top, used for fixing or fastening materials together.
Examples:
Brad nail. Brad fastener. I picked up a box of Brads from the hardware store for my weekend project.
Tizzy.
A state of extreme agitation, excitement, or confusion, a frenzied or flustered condition.
Examples:
Put the whole class in a tizzy. Get in a tizzy. The sudden change in plans threw him into a tizzy.
Whisper.
To speak very quietly to somebody using the breath rather than the voice so that only those close to you can hear you.
Examples:
Answer in a whisper. The whisper of the leaves. He took me aside and whispered in my ear.
Prosthetic.
Of or relating to an artificial part of the body, such as a limb, a heart, or a breast implant.
Examples:
Have prosthetic arms. Prosthetic limbs. New prosthetic joints are less prone to metal poisoning.
Superimpose.
To place, layer, or overlay one thing on top of another, typically in such a way that both are still visible. To add or combine something additional into an existing structure, design, or system.
Examples:
Superimpose image. Superimpose text. The graphic designer will superimpose the logo over the image in the brochure.
Deem.
To consider or decide something in a particular way. Deem socially responsible. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To consider or decide something in a particular way. To
Examples:
deem socially responsible, deem wrong or inappropriate. Regarding earthquakes, some commercial buildings were deemed unsafe.
Depict.
To illustrate someone or something in a photograph.
Examples:
depict a scene. Depict a feeling of isolation. His son had accurately depicted the bloom.
Grail.
A sacred or highly prized object, often associated with a quest or search for something elusive or unattainable.
Examples:
Holy Grail. Ultimate Grail. The search for the Grail is often used as a metaphor for any difficult quest or task.
Industrious.
Hardworking, diligent, and persistent in effort.
Examples:
Industrious worker. Industrious student. He was known to be very industrious and would often work late into the night.
Fearless.
Having no fear, brave.
Examples:
Fearless attitude. Fearless bravery. The fearless firefighter rushed into the burning building to save a trapped child.
Carve.
To create something by cutting wood or stone, to turn sharply.
Examples:
Carve a statue. Carve my name on the plate. This statue is carved from a single tree trunk.
Tolerable.
Capable of being endured or tolerated, not too unpleasant, painful, or difficult.
Examples:
Tolerable conditions. Tolerable level of risk. His new job offered a tolerable work environment, but was not his dream job.
Broth.
A liquid in which meat, fish, or vegetables have been cooked, used as a base for soups and stews.
Examples:
Chicken broth. Remains of broth. I always add a bit of broth to my soup to give it more flavor.
Paramount.
More important than anything else, having superior power and influence or the highest position.
Examples:
The Lord Paramount. Paramount to all the others. This country became a country of paramount geostrategic importance to us.
Aft.
The opposite of forward, located at or towards the rear or back of a ship, aircraft, or other vehicle.
Examples:
Aft cabin. Aft view. The aft section of the ship suffered significant damage after the collision with the reef.
Congratulation.
The act of expressing that someone has an occasion for celebration or the expression of pleasure at the success or good fortune of another.
Examples:
Congratulation on a promotion. A matter for congratulation. The congratulations from her friends and family were overwhelming after she won the championship.
Reassure.
To cause someone to feel sure, to give or restore confidence.
Examples:
Reassure anxious patients. reassure market. The pilot tried to reassure the customers that the planes were safe.
Idiosyncrasy.
A distinctive or unique way of functioning, behaving, or thinking that is characteristic of an individual or a group, a peculiar or eccentric habit or behavior.
Examples:
Personal idiosyncrasy, cultural idiosyncrasy. His idiosyncrasy of always wearing green socks was a quirky habit.
Tic.
A sudden, involuntary muscular contraction or movement, often repetitive in nature, a habitual and often unconscious behavior or mannerism.
Examples:
Developmental tic, facial tic. My nervous tic makes it hard for me to concentrate during important events.
Subtlety.
The quality of being subtle.
Examples:
Psychological subtlety. With great subtlety. She examines the document with remarkable subtlety.
Candlelight.
Light provided by a candle or candles.
Examples:
Candlelight dinner. Candlelight vigil. The room was dimly lit by soft candlelight.
Chasm.
A deep and wide crack or hole in the ground, especially one that is difficult or impossible to cross, a profound difference between two people or groups.
Examples:
A deep and wide chasm. Chasm of death. The chasm of misunderstanding between the two sides seemed impossible to bridge.
Leotard.
A tight-fitting garment that covers the torso and sometimes extends to the thighs, typically worn for athletic or dance activities.
Examples:
Zip-front leotard. Ballet leotard. The ballerina wore a pink leotard for her performance.
Animate.
To make something full of interest and energy.
Examples:
Animate the body. Animate his soul. The positive attitude of the supervisor animated the discussion.
Numb.
Unable to feel physical sensation and movement, not showing human feeling or sensitivity.
Examples:
Numb with cold. A numb mind. My left arm became numb.
Crappy.
Of poor quality, not satisfactory.
Examples:
Crappy service. Crappy Spanish. The food at the restaurant was crappy and overpriced.
Crease.
A line or mark made by folding or wrinkling a surface or material, a slight ridge or fold in fabric or paper caused by pressing or folding.
Examples:
Crease in fabric. Deep crease. The shirt had a noticeable crease along the sleeve from being folded.
Dimple.
A small natural indentation or crease, particularly on the surface of the skin, such as on the face or the back of the hand.
Examples:
Baby dimple. Left dimple. Her smile was accentuated by the adorable dimple on her right cheek.
Wrinkle.
A small line or fold in something, especially fabric or the skin of the face, a minor difficulty.
Examples:
A fine wrinkle on a fabric. A facial wrinkle. This suit is made of wrinkle-proof material.
Abort.
To terminate or cancel something before it is complete or fully developed. To cause the end of a pregnancy before the fetus is viable or can survive outside the womb.
Examples:
Abort a mission. Abort a takeoff. The company had to abort the plan because of financial constraints.
Quo.
The existing state or condition of something, especially in relation to a particular situation or issue.
Examples:
Status quo politician. Quo warranto. The company has been successful in maintaining the status quo.
Uncharted.
Not mapped or surveyed, unknown or unexplored, without a clear or definite course of action.
Examples:
Uncharted wilderness. Uncharted waters. The explorer ventured into uncharted territory, not knowing what to expect.
Stew.
A dish consisting of meat and vegetables simmered in liquid, typically served hot as a main course or soup, a state of mental or emotional agitation or confusion.
Examples:
Stew meat. Vegetable stew. I made a delicious beef stew for dinner tonight.
Nugget.
A small piece of gold or other precious metal or mineral found ready formed in the earth, a small round piece of some food.
Examples:
A gold nugget. Nugget of truth. It took a few weeks to extract the nugget of information from those complicated sources.
Disparate.
Very different or distinct from something else, and is not connected or comparable in any way.
Examples:
Disparate impact. Physically disparate location. The organization worked to bring together disparate groups in the community.
Transcend.
To rise above or go beyond the limits of something.
Examples:
Transcend boundaries. Transcend limits. The music transcended cultural barriers and reached audiences globally.
Phosphorus.
A chemical element with the symbol P and atomic number 15 that is a nonmetallic, highly reactive, and luminescent element.
Examples:
Phosphorus element. Yellow phosphorus. Phosphorus compounds are commonly used to manufacture fertilizers to promote plant growth.
Stipple.
To create a pattern or texture on a surface by applying a series of small dots or marks, to paint or draw using a technique of dotting or dapping.
Examples:
Stipple a drawing. Stipple the background of the portrait. When applying makeup, some techniques require you to stipple foundation onto the skin using a special brush.
Reconstruct.
To build or form something again that has been damaged or destroyed.
Examples:
Reconstruct an image. Reconstruct the original text. They've decided to reconstruct a ruined castle.
Volumetric.
Relating to or measured by volume, which refers to the amount of space occupied by an object or substance.
Examples:
Volumetric flow rate. Volumetric analysis. The 3D printer uses volumetric calculations to determine the material needed for each print job.
Fidelity.
Faithfulness to a person, cause, or thing, loyalty or devotion to a duty or obligation, accuracy or exactness in reproducing or representing something.
Examples:
Fidelity guarantee deposit. High fidelity music. The couple promised each other fidelity in their marriage vows.
Polygonal.
Having multiple straight sides or angles, characterized by a shape or structure composed of straight lines or flat surfaces, often forming closed figures such as polygons.
Examples:
Polygonal shape. A polygonal design. The architect designed a beautiful polygonal building with multiple facets.
Polygon.
A closed plane figure bounded by 3 or more straight sides that meet at the same number of angles, vertices.
Examples:
Regular polygon. Closed polygon. The garden had a complex polygon shape with many angles and corners.
Phosphorescence.
A form of luminescence that continues to emit light after direct exposure to a light source has ended, a glowing or luminous quality, often associated with living organisms or minerals.
Examples:
Phosphorescence glow. Ocean phosphorescence. The mesmerizing phosphorescence of the plankton in the water illuminated the beach.
Photorealistic.
Referring to imagery or graphics that are so realistic that it appears to be a photograph or a real-life object.
Examples:
Photorealistic painting. Photorealistic rendering. The video game's graphics were so photorealistic that it felt like I was in it.
Sculptor.
An artist who creates sculptures, three-dimensional objects, or forms.
Examples:
Sculptor studio. Renowned sculptor. The famous sculptor used various tools to carve the marble into the desired shape.
Maquette.
A small-scale model or prototype, usually representing a proposed design or artwork, used for visualization, planning, or demonstration purposes.
Examples:
Architectural maquette. Scaled maquette. The architect presented the maquette of the new building to the client for approval.
Unveil.
To reveal or make something publicly known, especially for the first time.
Examples:
Unveil a monument. Unveil a comprehensive plan. The company plans to unveil its new product at the trade show next week.
Anatomical.
Of or relating to the structure of the body and its parts.
Examples:
Anatomical structure. Anatomical elements. The anatomical model of the human body was used to teach medical students.
Transpose.
To change the position, order, or arrangement of something, especially in music, by changing the key or pitch, to transfer or move something from one place or context to another.
Examples:
Transpose letters. Transpose data. We must transpose the melody from key C to key G for the singer.
Recreate.
To make something that existed previously happen or appear to exist again.
Examples:
Recreate a single country. Recreate the feeling of the 1920s. She recreated the atmosphere of the pre-war age with her stage setting.
Improvise.
To create or perform something on the spot, without preparation or planning, to use what one has available to do or create something.
Examples:
Improvise a joke. Improvise an escape plan. We had to improvise a tent using a tarp and sticks since we didn't have a proper one.
Eyebrow.
The hair arc over each eye in humans.
Examples:
Raise her eyebrows. Eyebrow cosmetics. She raised an inquiring eyebrow towards me.
Posit.
To suggest or accept something as fact or as a basis for argument or consideration.
Examples:
Posit the existence of life after death. Posit the premise. We should posit several hypotheses to discuss the matter.
Jerry.
A slang term referring to something that is improvised, makeshift, or of poor quality, jerry-rigged.
Examples:
Jerry-built foundation. Jerry-made toy. The jerry-rigged repair was only a temporary solution to the problem.
Sect.
A group of people who follow a particular religious or philosophical belief system, especially one that is regarded as outside the norm or mainstream.
Examples:
Sect beliefs. Secret sect. The minority sect believed in a set of unconventional religious practices.
Adage.
A short and memorable saying or phrase that expresses a commonly held truth or belief, often based on experience or tradition, a proverb or maxim.
Examples:
Proverbial adage. Famous adage. He lived by the wise adage honesty is the best policy and was respected for his straightforward approach.
Mold.
A hollow container used to give shape to liquid or soft substance, which then becomes solid in the same shape as the container, a soft, green, or gray growth that forms on stale food or objects exposed to warm, moist air for too long.
Examples:
A casting mold. Mold allergy. Mushrooms and mold are fungi.
Enunciate.
To say, pronounce, or utter words clearly.
Examples:
Enunciate a new strategy. Enunciate each word. The doctrine of the country was enunciated by its first king.
Devote.
To commit or dedicate oneself or one's time, effort, or energy to a particular task or purpose.
Examples:
Devote all of my energies. Devote my own life. He devoted himself to studying the history of ancient civilizations.
Deformation.
The process of changing the physical shape or form of something, usually due to external forces or pressure.
Examples:
Deformation at room temperature. Deformation of structures. Various factors, including pressure, temperature, and the application of external forces, can cause the deformation of rocks.
Puppet.
A doll or figure that is manipulated by strings, wires, or hands to represent a person or animal, a person who is controlled or manipulated by someone else.
Examples:
Puppet theater. Corporate puppet. The politician was merely a puppet for the wealthy elite.
Sandblast.
To clean or etch a surface with high-pressure blasting of abrasive material, such as sand or glass beads. Noun, a process in which a high-pressure stream of sand or other abrasive material is used to clean, shape, or etch a surface.
Examples:
Sandblast etching. Sandblast a wall. The construction crew will sandblast the concrete to remove any impurities before laying the foundation.
Ironic.
A situation or event that is opposite of what is expected, the use of words to mean the opposite of their literal or original meaning.
Examples:
Ironic twist. Ironic consequence. It's ironic that the rain started just as they finished building the new picnic shelter.
Humming.
Producing a continuous, low, vibrating sound like that of the bee.
Examples:
Humming sound. Hummingbird. The humming of the bees filled the air as she walked through the garden.
Factoid.
Something commonly accepted as fact, even though it is probably not true.
Examples:
An attention-grabbing factoid. Wacky factoid. We talked about an interesting factoid in today's newspaper.
Hairstyle.
The way in which a person's hair is cut, styled, or arranged on their head.
Examples:
Modern hairstyle. Bob hairstyle. My sister got a new hairstyle for her job interview.